Hey y'all, it's the Kountry Notary. Hope you're having a great day, because I sure am. Hey, please, as always, like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Today is September 2nd, y'all. I can't believe it. It's already September. It seems like just yesterday I did a video regarding my summer, I think I called it my summer kickoff or my summer business plan. I'm sure I had a better name for it than that. I'd have to go back and watch the video. Earlier in June, I did a video regarding my summer business plans, one of which was to apply for my LLC. And I showed the video of how I went to the post office, filled out the form, printed it out, went to the post office, mailed it. I'm at the post office doing the video, and then later I went over to the UPS store and purchased myself a virtual business address, and basically crossed my fingers and hoped everything would be processed in a timely fashion. Well, that didn't quite happen, and now remember, that was June, so we're almost 85 days in. And that's partially my fault. Some of this is my fault, but I need to give you guys an update on my LLC journey. And like I said, it seems like just yesterday I did that video kicking off my summer business plan. So shortly after I mailed the application to the Texas Secretary of State, I then was informed that the state had converted to an online system. They were no longer accepting mail-in applications. Just my luck. So a few weeks later, I called, checking on the status of my application, and that's when I found out they had converted to the online system and that my mail-in application would not be processed. And then about maybe a day later, I received an email basically replying to the same. And I said to myself, I wish they had just emailed me sooner. It was 3 weeks or so in at that point, maybe end of June. So my application basically was eventually, like a few weeks after that, mid-July, late July, my application was finally returned. In the interim, I applied through the online system. Okay, online system, applied through the online system, filled out the form, click. So now we're about mid-July, and again, my application was rejected. Now, granted, I'm not, slow, so to speak. I'm pretty sharp when it comes to most things, but sadly, like all of I make mistakes. After I submitted my online application, a few days later, give or take, maybe a week, I received another email that I feel I used the wrong form, the incorrect form. And I either called them first and they told me, or they emailed me back and basically told me that I used the wrong form. Actually, I called them and they looked me up and said, oh, you used the wrong form. You used form 205 when you should have used form 204. Now, how that happened, I don't know. 204, 205. It seemed like it was the correct form. I'm filling out all the same blanks that I filled out on the mail-in application, but neither here nor there. So attempt number 2 canceled. Okay, so I proceeded to fill out form 204. I thought, went back on the system maybe a few days later, filled out form 204, submitted it. Crickets. Waiting. Now it's early August, no response. So I'll call again. I'm 36 in queue, 27th in queue, 10th in queue, 1st in queue. Finally, agent answers the phone. This is, the Kountry Notary. I'm calling to check on the status of my LLC application. And she does a little clicking, researching in the computer, and she basically comes back and says, ma'am, we don't have an application on file for you. I'm like, is this like a bad dream or a horror movie, or is this just not meant to be? what is going on? I said, are you sure? I went online, I explained the whole thing to her. She goes, no ma'am, we see your first application that you mailed was returned. Second application that you submitted was the wrong form, but we don't see a third application on file for you. Okay. At that point, I just took a deep breath, said, you know what? I'm just gonna take a deep breath. I was busy. I traveled, I went out of town took a little vacation, had a lot of things going on over that period between about mid-July and early August, mid-August, end of August. So finally, I sat down about a week ago and reapplied using the correct form. And I was smart this time. I called first and ensured that I was following the correct steps, using the correct form, clicking on the correct submit button. And this was, like I said, about a week ago. Today is September 2nd, y'all. And as it turned out, I used the correct form. My form was submitted and I was approved. The Kountry Notary is now an LLC. Yes, finally. 90 days later, the Kountry Notary is an LLC. Now you may say, well, you know what? It's not much to brag on. You messed up the form about 5 times, but that's not the point. Persistence, guys. Persistence pays off. And I'm excited, of course. Had I got right back in there after I used the wrong form, 205 versus 204, and submitted it, the process really only took about 3 or 4 days before they actually charged my credit card and approved my application. So I guess the rest of the time wasted was obviously my fault. Things happen for a reason, but the Kountry Notary is now an LLC. So next steps, I will be applying or opening a business checking account. I have a few bank account, checking accounts that have been referred to me through other YouTubers that I follow, business coaches that I follow on YouTube. I'm going to do a little research, open a business checking account, make my deposit, and my next step in my summer business plan, which, here in Texas, it is September 2nd, but it still feels like summer. It's like 95 degrees today. So I guess this is still part of my summer business plan. I will be applying for business credit, a DNB number, Dun & Bradstreet number. It's like your business credit number. And I already have my EIN number. I applied for that when I first started my notary business. So I will be opening a business checking account. And the next phase of my business plan is to build business credit. Start building business credit. Get back on the computer, start doing my research and building business credit so that I eventually will be able to purchase my first piece of real estate under my business name and build my property, my duplex. And that's a whole nother story, whole nother phase. We'll get to that at some point. I just wanted to give you an update. The Kountry Notary is now an LLC, lowkountryink, Mobile Notary, LLC. I am officially in business, y'all. Thanks for watching. I will be doing another video very soon with an update to my LLC business journey. It's the Kountry Notary, and I'll talk to y'all soon.